Okay, hi, and welcome to day 13 of my attempt to learn how to make a roguelike in Rust using the roguelike tutorial. Roguelike tutorial uses something called an entity component system, and I'm learning that along the way as well. My repo is over here. If you're interested, I've been pushing all the intermediate changes over the past few days. You can see those here. And we've gotten as far as dealing damage. So we're going to start next with a quick stream about the user interface. My repo should be clean, and it is, so let's do this. In this chapter, we'll add a user interface to the game. Shrinking the map. We're going to start off by going to map.rs and adding some constants for width and height and count. Okay. Let's do that. We'll go through and change every reference to 80 by 50 to map count and references to the map size to use constants. When this is done and running, we'll change a map height to 43 to give us room at the bottom of the screen for a user interface panel. Okay. I'll buy that. Source lib map. So we're going to add, where are we going to add these constants? We can just throw them up here, I guess. Use size 80. And we'll do height. There we go. Height is 50. And then count is map width times map height. And then we're going to go look for all the 80 by 50s. Here's an 80 by 50. Change this to map count, I guess. And then this is map width, map height. Here's an 80 by 50, map count. There's another one, and another one. Okay. Here's another 80, map width, map height. Any more? That's only 80. What about 50s? It's only 50. Oops. I guess I should have restricted that to source. Okay, so the only 50 is in the builder, and the only 80 should be in the builder as well. Okay, so we've done that. Git diff. Git add source. Git commit make width and height constants. There. Okay, and then we're shrinking the map. Oh, sorry, we just did that. And some minimal GUI elements. So we'll create a new file called GUI to hold our code. We'll go with a minimal start. There's more constants in here, but it looks like it's drawing this little box here at the bottom. Okay. So we've got a new file, rltk, rgb, rltk, console with a lowercase c. Oh, except we're not using it. So let's leave that out. Specs, prelude, star, draw UI. ECS is the world, and CTX is our context. It doesn't return anything, it just draws a box. At 043, 79 wide, and 6 high. Named RLTK white and black. I assume that's foreground and background colors. What did I get wrong here? That's that one. Oh, that's what I did there. Okay. There we go. Semicolon. Put this on the next line. I'm sure cargo format's going to reformat it for me anyway, but we'll do that. And we'll add mod GUI to the import block at the top of main and call it at the end of tick. So I moved tick to a different file, so we're going to do that in a different file instead of in main. At the end of tick, we're going to call draw GUI. Draw UI, sorry. So here, GUI, draw UI, self ECS, CTX, and of course we need to import it. Can I just import it here like this? I use GUI, draw UI, maybe? Let me see if that builds. It does not. Oh, look at that. We got sizing issues. Okay. Use an undeclared creator module GUI. So I maybe I can do create GUI UI. Let's find out if I can do that. Like that. And I'll fix the other things. Nope. Unresolved import create GUI. Alright, so we do have to add it to our mod. Here. Pub use GUI. Oops. Colon ***, and then pub mod GUI. Source lib map. So we have to change all these references to map width, map height to use sizes. Right, that's a map width, but it's showing as I32 here. So, can we just change these to I30? Oh, we can't because, we might be able to if we say map count like this as usize. Maybe? How far will that get us? What did I do wrong now? It is colon, it's colon star. I had colon star. Okay. Yeah, that worked. Okay, so we're not, okay, we can remove that. Game state, we can remove the crate, and then we're not using ECS yet. So let's just underbar it for now. Good, okay. Nice clean build. And now if we just refresh this, we do get a nice little box around the bottom of our map. Very good. So let's do that. Let's check that in. Git add source, git show, no, diff staged. So there's the call to draw the GUI. There's actual draw GUI call. Here's where we're setting up our map height and map width. And and then I get an extra blank line at the end of mod rs, lib mod, which we don't need. Right, so now we're looking good. Git add, git commit, draw box, and fix usize I32 mismatch. What I didn't do was format and clippy it. Yeah, look at that. It just stretched the entire thing out. What did it do here? Oh, remove the spaces. Okay. Git add source, git commit cargo format. Okay. -m cargo format. Okay, good. That only took 10 minutes. So now we're going to add a health bar. It would help the player out to know how much health they have left. Fortunately, RLTK provides a convenient helper for this. It help, so we have a helper. Makes 100% sense. We'll need to obtain the player's health from the ECS and render it. This is pretty easy, and you should be comfortable with it by now. Hopefully we are. Hopefully everything goes well. And this is in Draw UI. So let's pull up the GUI code. This is the box we're drawing. And let combat stats equal to ECS read storage. Combat stats. And we're doing it this way instead of using that type thing because this is not a system. This is just a function we call. So the only way to get the information is to do these individual storage. It's hard to type and talk at the same time. To get the individual components, and then we'll join them together this way. So this says for every player that has a stat, which is the player, combat stats. Although, didn't we just insert the player as a resource? So we should be able to just, right? I mean, if I look in main, yesterday what we did was we inserted the player entity as a resource. So why isn't it possible? Why do we have to go through this boilerplate here, these lines here, in order to get the player when we can just get the player out of the ECS as a resource? All right. Well, I'll just keep doing this because I'm a lemming. Let health. Format. Put a space in front. Okay, HP is X out of Y. Put the space after. Stats.hp. Stats.max HP. CTX print color. Spelled the American way. 43. RGB named RLTK yellow. It matches the player's color. RGB named RLTK black. We're going to give it the health. And that's it. Okay. And CTX draw bar horizontal. Okay. 28, 43, 51. Stats HP and stats max HP. I guess it's the same kind of idea here. And we're going to give it a red color, red over black. RGB named TK red. And RGB named RLTK black. Right? And we could, I think we can make this a little nicer. We do this, right? If we add red, yellow, and black here, we can save a little bit of noise in our code. Ooh, there was a typo there. I didn't even notice that until now. Put that there, and then, oops. Like that, right? So it's a little easier to read, maybe? Okay, so now this should draw a health bar. Let's see if this builds. It does not. I'm joining on something that does, oh, because I didn't add player and combat stats. Use create player and combat stats. Cargo format's going to flip those around on me, but that's okay. Oh, and I forgot to make ECS like that. Good. Okay, that builds. Let's see if we have a health bar. Refresh. We do. Look at that. 30 out of 30, and we got a nice long red health bar, and we should see it go down as we combat. Yeah, look at that. It's just chunked down. And then what happens when we die? We're down to 14 health. Going to this. Let's find one more monster to kill. 6, 4, 2. Oh, I killed it. Okay. You are dead. And now it's spinning it. You are dead down here. With 0 HP and one little thing left on the health bar. That might be a bug, right? I don't know if that's in RLTK or in our code. Let's take a look at our code real quick here. What do we do? Oh, let me get rid of that extra line. Extra space. Okay, and then, so we're just doing at 2843, which I'm guessing is here. Oh no. 28 over, 43 down, and 51 long. Stats HP should be 0, right? Because we're seeing 0 here. And stacks max HP should be 30. So it's saying 0 out of 30, but it's showing this one character's worth of HP. So I'm going to declare that being a bug in RLTK and not in our code. And check this in. I'm going to hit refresh here so we stop flooding the console. Git commit. No, git add. Oh, and I forgot to format. Git. There we go. It did change. Okay, git add source, git commit, draw health bar for player. Okay. So we should have enough time to do this. Adding a message log. The game log makes sense as a resource. It's available to any system that wants to tell you something, and there's very little restriction as to what might want to tell you something, right? We'll start by modeling the log itself. Make a new file, game log, and we'll start it very simply, okay? Game log. Pub struct game log. Pub entries. It's just a vec of string. In main RS, I had mod game log line and insert it as a resource with, okay, so what I'm going to do is add it to the library. Pub mod game log. Pub use game log star. Oops, I did it again. : star, like that. Source main. What are we going to do? We're going to add it as a resource. Let log equal ECS fetch game log. Oh, first we have to do this. So down here, before our main loop, gs ECS insert game log with entries of welcome to Rusty Roguelike to string. Yep, like that, then that, then that. Okay. We're inserting a line into the log file at the start using the vec macro for constructing vectors. That gives us something to display, so we'll start writing the log display code in GUI. In our GUI drawing function, we'll just add this. Okay, so because we've inserted this as a game log, we can do ECS fetch game log. So let's pull up the GUI code, and now after we've drawn the bar, I guess, let log ECS fetch game log. See, again, we should be able to just do ECS fetch player, but let mute y equals 44. Let's get this done first, and then iter rev. So we're going to do a reverse iterator. If y is less than 49, ctx print 2ys, y plus equals 1, done. All right, so this basically starts at the end of the entries and then goes towards the beginning and prints them out until it hits the bottom of the line. So we should see this, welcome to Rusty Roguelike, if this builds. Does it blend? It does not. Oh, because I did not add. But, oh, because I'm not doing create star. I'm doing just the create individual game log. Right. Okay. So now, oops. Let's try to build it again. If we run this, there it is. Welcome to Rusty Roguelike. How about that? Neat. That works. Okay. So let's add that. Git status. We have an extra file now. Git add source. Get staged. So we've added the game log. We've added the game log to the GUI. We print out the game log in the GUI. We've added the game log to the library, and we start off the game log in main with an entry. Git commit -m create and print a game log. Okay, and then logging attacks. So in our melee combat system, we'll add a game log to our imports, add a read-write accessor for the log, write expect game log, and extend the destructuring to include it. Then it's just a matter of replacing the print macros with inserting, I think they mean the console log macros, right? With inserting into the game log. So here's the resultant code. Okay, so let's see if we can do that. So we're going to get rid of the console. We're going to add game log here. We're going to add a write expect to our game log. Where do they put it? Entities log. So they put it right after entities. Write expect game log. So entities, and it's immutable. Oh, and need a comma. And now, oh, they got it right here. Okay. And now, where do we do it? We, in damage, instead of console log, we're going to say log entries push. But the same exact thing. But I guess we don't need to ampersand it. We don't need to pass a reference to it. Okay. We do that. And then we do the same thing here. Log entries push. Okay. And then everything else is the same. Okay. So now we'll play the game and see that the monsters will hit us. Right? Refresh. Look at that. Orc 11 hits player for 2 HP. So it's not showing up down here, but if I attack, because we haven't changed the player. Oh no. Because that, right, that's the system. The way the system works is everybody goes through the system. Whether you're a player or a monster, you still go through here. So everybody does it. Player hits Orc 11 for 4 HP. Then Orc 11 hits player for 2 HP. Right? Oh, I clicked out of there. Yeah. Boom. Oh, it should say the Orc died. We got to add that. Okay. Now if you run and play it a bit, you'll see the combat messages in the log. Yes. Oh, and here we go. Notifying of deaths. Okay, so let's check this in. Right? So git add source. Git commit. What do we want to say? We want to just say report combat to game log instead of console. Then notifying of deaths. After this, then we'll have to wrap it up. Oh, mouse support and tooltips. That might be straightforward. We'll see. See how much time we have. We can do the same thing with delete the dead to notify of deaths. Here's the finished code. No description of what happens, but is it in damage system? Yes. Delete the dead has delete the dead is in damage system. So we're still doing this. We're still using a scope to make the borrow checker happy. Combat stats, players Oh, now we need names, right? Because we're going to report read storage name, and then entities for entity stats and entities combat stats join. That's still the same. We modified a few things here. Oh, and then in none, so we'll say this. And we're going to still console log you are dead because it repeats it every tick. So we're going to have to address that at some point. Let victim name, names get, entity. If let some victim names get entity, there should be a name. They're saying only do the log if we can get the name. Push format is dead. Victim name. Right? And then we'll push the entity. So we have the entity, we're going to push it regardless, and then we'll get the victim name off of here. Does that build? It does not. Oh, because I forgot to add game log unclosed limiter. I probably missed a... Yep. Over here I missed this. And I didn't add game log here. Right. Oh, name. Where do we get the log? Oh, here it is. I missed this line too. So we'll add name there. And then let mute log, ECS write storage, game log. We'll add a blank line there to separate the variable initialization from the core of the code. Okay. Will this build? No. Oh, because I didn't change that. What else is wrong? ECS write storage. Oh, that's interesting. Did I miss that from when we declared the game log? Way back here? I did not. So that's a component. Should I move it to my components? It was able to grab it here as a component. It didn't complain there. But here, I guess when we go to use it this way, it needs to be a component. All right. First, we need to fix line 42 to have a semicolon. And the other thing is unknown field. Log entries. Oh, because I wasn't able to get logs, so it didn't know. So let's add that. Lib game log. See, it's here. And this is the entire thing. Let's just move it to our components. Right? No reason to have a... maybe there will be. All right. And let's just grab this. Oops. Grab this line. Sorry. There we go. Does this build? Isn't the... Oh. It isn't. Source lib mod. It's... Oh, it's in components. Source lib components. Yeah, this line. That's what we need. All right. Not found in this scope. Maybe we need the prelude as well. Okay, and then we still have this issue here. Attempted to take value of method entries on type storage, blah, blah, blah. Let mute log CCS write storage game log. Oh, I put a... Let's take a look. I put a... what line is that complaining about? But we didn't... Let mute log UCS write... Oh, resource. Oh, and that's why we don't need to make it a component. Right? Because I was pulling it out as a component, and it's not a component, it's a resource. Wow, okay. That took the long road to get there. That builds. And now we should be able to see dead messages, right? After all that. Orc 11 is dead. Okay. So we got that working. Wow. And that took us to the limit of my stream time. So notifying of deaths is that. And next time, which I don't think is going to be until next Wednesday, is the next opportunity. And we get Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And I'll continue with mouse support and tooltips. But meanwhile, what do we got? Git diff. So all we did was add a log entry for death. And we had to add the names and log resource like we did here. Make sure format and Clippy is happy. It is not. Oh, now this is too long. All right, let's fix that. And the way I fixed it before was doing this, I think. Type, and then we'll call this melee combat data. And it needs our lifetime, and type system data is equal to melee combat data tick. Right? And it still builds. So all we did, it reformatted things for us, but yeah. So this got moved. Here's the log, and here's the reformatted that. Okay. Log player death. Oh, log entity death. And because it's just a monster death for now. And cargo format. All right, let's push that up. Should be here. Commits on October 6th. There we go. This is also all the work we did today. And I'm going to call it a strim. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.